Hey guys, it's Brian Akeem here, and welcome to my first ever Last of Us review. This is going to be the review for the Last of Us TV show by HBO. So yeah, let's get on to it. So we start with a flashback of 1968, and it turns out there's these scientists. They're talking about viruses and all that, and one of the guys mentions that hey, if there's a fungus, virus, then humanity is doomed, which is kind of interesting because that actually happened. So we never got that in the game. So now we kind of get this like foreshadowing. And then we get the awesome intro, which is so good. They play the Last of Us music with the guitar, and just the way everything's all fungus and stuff is just so good. It reminds me of Game of Thrones, but also good old Last of Us. So then we get to 2000, the present. So 2003. So this is interesting because this actually takes place 10 years before the apocalypse actually happens in the game, but it is about the same. It's 20 years before our time, and it's with the 20-year time skip of the apocalypse, it's actually you know what I mean, like it's kind of interesting how the series, the main series, takes place the same year as we're in right now, so that's kind of interesting. So yeah, anyways, after that we have Sarah, who actually wakes up, and this is really interesting. So Sarah wakes up, and she gets ready for school. She wakes up Joel. Joel comes down, and he forgot pancake mix, all this stuff. We're getting to see stuff we didn't get to see in the games, and then we have them saying hi to their neighbors, and this a very nice family, the Adlers. They have this grandma, or the older couple, and the mother, and her mother, who's despondent, I guess. I don't really know what's up with her in that way, but yeah, when they died, I was very upset by that. Like that was sad. So anyways, after school, Sarah goes to town, and she goes to the shop to get Joel's watch fix. And this is actually really cool because it's actually this is something we never actually got in the game. It's kind of like oh wow, it's like it's kind of showing how Sarah actually fixes Joel's watch, because like what I mean, that's something in the game they kind of never addressed. And then she goes to the neighbor's house. She goes to the Adler. She talks to Connie, and man, just the fact that the Adler family is Christian, they believe in Jesus, just like me. It just is gonna. I just knew they were gonna die. It's so sad. There's like the show really showed that they're sweet and kind people, and just Sarah doing homework with them, and she's being watched while Joel is still at work with Tommy. And it's just sad. So she borrows a movie, and then we also see that the dog is. So we see that the grandma is infected, but and the dog is very nervous, and yeah, I got nervous too. Anyways, after that we have Sarah. She is like, I think it's like 9 o'clock. She was waiting for Joel, and he's kind of late. He missed the cake too, but they watch a movie, and then we get so she falls asleep after the movie, and Joel gets a call from Tommy, and turns out he was arrested at a bar. And this is also very interesting because in the games, they never showed why Joel was outside of the house when Sarah went to sleep. You know what I mean? Like they never really that was something in the games they never really showed. Like why was Sarah in bed and Joel was not in the house when the apocalypse was happening. So now it's like, oh, okay, they give this reason. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, so anyway, a couple hours later, Sarah then wakes up, and there's bombs going off, helicopters, people screaming. So she goes outside, and she sees the dog. She tries to get the dog to go back home, but the poor dog is traumatized, and he runs away. I'm glad they didn't kill off the dog, but yeah, I was so sad to see the Adler family. They died, and the husband, his wife, and the grandma, they're all infected, with the cordyceps virus, and it's really sad, man. It's just so sad. And Sarah is very traumatized, and she runs. Joel kills the grandma as a zombie, and Tommy and him leave, and we got to see the family. They're on the highway, and they're trying to escape. Sarah, Tommy, and Joel, they're trying to escape, and we get the scene from the game where they're in a town, and instead of a truck crashing into them like in the game, instead it's a plane piece that causes the truck to crash, and then Sarah gets injured. So that's kind of interesting. And then we have Joel and Sarah and Tommy get separated, and then we have the crazy fast zombie chasing after Joel as he's carrying Sarah. She's injured, hurt her leg, and then we have Joel held up by that soldier. He's saved by that soldier from the zombie, and then just like the game, the soldier is off screen, or not off screen, but it's kind of he hears to kill Joel and Sarah, and he shoots Joel and Sarah, and Joel actually is shot in this version, like Pedro Pascal's Joel he was grazed on the side. A bullet went right through his side, and Sarah. But yeah, Tommy kills the soldier, saving Joel. But unfortunately, Sarah is she was shot fatally in the chest, and Joel is moving her, like, they're not really securing, like, Joel is just despondent. He just is panicking, and sadly Sarah bleeds to death, and it's just so sad. And then we get the 20-year time skip. So then we see this poor kid with long hair, this boy, probably like 10 years old or something. He's just going around the apocalypse, looking, and we get to see the safe zone in Boston. And oh my goodness, the way the city looks, this is so good. This is what I always wanted The Walking Dead to look. This is how 20 years in the zombie apocalypse looks. Destroyed buildings, everything gone, like windows gone, cars, you can barely see them, roads are gone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like The Walking Dead has done a poor job of this, whereas Last of Us, like, oh wow, yeah, they did a good job. So we see the safe zone, and we see this nice security guard woman, this sweet woman who's she's being nice to the kid and stuff, and the kid, we don't really find out his name. He's very quiet, and unfortunately we see that he was scratched on the side, and the soldier takes his test, and it turns out he's infected, and we don't really know what happens after that, other than the kid gets a shot. I don't know what was in it, like, was it a lethal injection or something, but she just basically comforts the kid, and tries, she's very sad to see that the kid is not going to make it, and yeah, when we see the kid's corpse on the truck, like, I got so sad. I'm like, oh man, that's brutal, man. Like, that's so tragic. Ah, man. Man, that's Last of Us. So after that, we have Joel talking to some security guard, like pills and stuff, and then we have Tess. We get to meet Tess, and she is being held up by Robert, and the explosion goes off. The fireflies are attacking the soldiers in the safe zone, and yeah, so she eventually, so Tess leaves. So after the fireflies attack, we actually get to meet Ellie. No disrespect to the actress, but I don't think she's doing a great Ellie. But yeah, we get to meet her. She's tied up, and Joel talks to this guy, and he's trying to get a radio transmission or a message to Tommy, because it's been a while. And yeah, this is a cool twist. It's like, oh yeah, hey, they're kind of showing that, hey, in 20 years Joel got separated from Tommy, and he's looking for him and all that stuff. So Joel tries to go to sleep, like takes sleeping pills and stuff, and then he sees Tess speeding up. They're gonna go after Robert, and we actually get to meet Marlene. I don't know how she's the leader of the Firefly tribe, and and they're in the safe zone, so I don't know how that works, but we get to meet her second in command, and she kind of reveals that I think Ellie is immune. I think she kind of tells her that, but on a piece of paper. And yeah, anyways, Tess and Joel decide to go after Robert to get back the car battery, and Marlene and Ellie kind of talk. She kind of gives her bag back and hints at her being immune. We know Ellie is immune to the virus, the fungus, and she says that she's got more to do. And then we come across, so while Tess and Joel are walking around, they come across this spore, this fungus. But yeah, I guess the spores are not a thing in the show, so I don't know how it's going to work, but they see some blood in the hallway, and they find out that Robert and his goons are all dead. So are Marlene's goons. Like what? It's kind of weird, because in the game, like, it was such a big deal. It took a while, but all of a sudden in the show, it's like, boom, Robert and his goons are dead. And turns out the car battery was just wasted anyway. It wasn't good. Ellie tries to attack Joel, but he knocks her down, like, kind of like, just shoves her a bit. And we get the kind of standoff between Marlene, her friend, her second in command, and then Ellie, and then Joel and Tess. And Marlene kind of mentions how, like, listen, she's like, I'm shot, we need your help, take her somewhere safe, I'll get patched up, and we'll give you the car battery supplies, all that stuff, Joel, and that kind of happens. So they take Ellie, and this is also something that wasn't in the games. She kind of finds this code on radios and stuff, and like in the game, Joel goes to sleep, and Ellie's like, your watch is broken. Yeah, so anyways, yeah, like I said, no disrespect to the actress, but I don't know, she's just not playing a good Ellie. I don't know what it is. But yeah, Tess comes back, and she's like, yeah, Marlene's got the supplies, we're good, let's do this thing. And they decide to go outside the safe zone. And yeah, they do that. The characters go outside the safe zone, and they come across a soldier. They get ambushed by a soldier, and Joel gets PTSD from when Sarah was killed by that soldier. So he kind of freaking he snaps and completely punches the guy in the face multiple times in the thunder. Um, you know what I mean? And Ellie's just kind of surprised by it. I don't know. It's just yeah, it definitely seems like the characters in the show version are like less tough, like you know what I mean, than the video game counterparts. But yeah, Joel pretty much just beats his soldier to death, the one that he gave the drugs to earlier in the episode. So yeah, it's kind of a tie-in. And then Tess kind of finds out Ellie is infected, but technically she's not because she's immune, but they don't know that. But she sees the bite mark on her wrist because the soldier was trying to test her, if she was infected. And Joel kind of sees his blood in the hand, like because he pretty much killed that soldier. Not sure why that soldier was on his own, but whatever. And Tess is kind of mentioning how they have to go. They have to get out of this, safe zone. Out of the area because soldiers are coming. And Joel picks up a dead soldier's gun, which is actually really cool. I'm glad they did that because yeah, like realistically, you would do that, And they go through the Fetra gate, and man, it looks so good. And like I just absolutely oh yeah, by the way, so some message plays, kind of reminds me of Stranger Things. This song plays in the background while Joel, Tess, and Ellie are running through the city. They're trying to get away from the safe zone because the soldiers are coming. And man, we get the thunder and just this amazing shot of the city of Boston, just covered in rain, fungus, and like destroyed buildings and everything. It just looks so good. I wish we got this in The Walking Dead, but I feel like we're never gonna get it because we're just not. AMC is too cheap, and yeah. So, anyways, guys, that's it for the episode. I'm going to be giving you guys my pros and cons for the first episode of The Last of Us Season 1. So, okay. So, pro number 1 is the visuals. The visuals were so good. I loved it. Everything felt real, aesthetic. Loved it. I love how the cities look. They're so well done. This is how cities will look in apocalypse 20 years in the future. Not how they look in The Walking Dead. Another pro I have is some of the actors. Like Tess is not bad. The actress for her. And Tommy, Tommy's actress is not bad. Marlene's is actually really good too, I will admit. And some of the other minor characters, like some of the soldiers and stuff, like the family, the Adler family in the beginning, like Sarah, like good, like some good actors here and there. That kind of fit the characters. And another pro I have are the new scenes. We're definitely getting more lore and kind of like deleted scenes from the game because they're kind of showing more. Okay, why are Joel and Tess, going to meet Robert? And it's like, oh, this is why. And then, oh, this is what Joel did right before Tess came in and all that stuff. It's like we're getting kind of stuff, and we get to see Sarah going to the shop. Like, this is stuff that we're getting, that we never got in the game. So it's kind of cool. And then pro number 4 is the ending. This was a good ending. I feel like this was a good way to end the very first episode. And pro number 5 is Sarah. They fleshed her out a lot more in the first episode. She was done way better. I'm curious to see if the actress will come back in like flashbacks and stuff. But yeah, like Sarah did actually, the actress for her did better than I thought she would. So props to her. Now, some of the cons I had with the episode are, some of the actors. Nothing against Pedro Pascal, but he just doesn't really work as Joel to me. And the actress for Ellie, who played Lyanna Mormont to Game of Thrones, just doesn't fit as Ellie. Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to, but she just does not fit. And another con I had were some of the cut scenes, like scenes. I feel like certain scenes got cut. You know what I mean? Like Robert and them. It's like what? Like you completely got rid of all that story? Like I don't know. It just all that dialogue. Like you know what I mean? It's just I don't know. It felt a little bit weird. And then another con I had with the episode was not enough action. Like I don't know. Like I feel like we kind of needed more action scenes in this episode. It was kind of light on the action. The chaos and the apocalypse. Like I don't know. Kind of felt like we could have gotten a little bit more. And also another con I have is, the characters definitely seem less tough in the show than they do in the video games, which, I mean, I get it, it's an adaptation, but it's like, did you really have to make them, weaker? I don't know. It's like, because I like to see the characters be tough too. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where I kind of wish they weren't weaker in the TV show versus the games. You know what I mean? Because in the games, their characters were beasts, but in the show, looks like they're much weaker. So yeah, I kind of have to give that a con. But other than that, guys, this was still a really good episode. Like let me know if you guys want me to do this every single week for The Last of Us. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you will enjoy episode 2, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, guys, and I'll see you again for The Last of Us. Bye.